Best places to go in Belize, things to do in Belize. The Caribbean beauty, Belize, the wonderland of the world, lies within the unleashed secrets of Mother Nature. But still, the question may come up, what are best places to go in Belize or what things to do in Belize? Here is the top 20 list of the best places to go in Belize. Ambergris Caye, Coulker Caye, Laughingbird Caye, ATM Cave, Barton Creek Cave, Rio Frio Cave, Lighthouse Reef Atoll and the Blue Hole, Placencia, Turneffe Islands Atoll, Cahal Pech Maya Ruins, Caracol Maya Ruins, Xunantunich Maya Ruins, Pilar Maya, Horseback Riding, Mountain Pine Ridge Reserve, Hol Chan Marine Reserve, Cockscomb Basin Wildlife Sanctuary and Jaguar Preserve, San Ignacio, Altun Archaeological Site, Hopkins Village, St. John's Cathedral, Belize City. We will discuss each destination a bit in detail later. But before, some facts about this beautiful country. Facts about Belize. Belize is the land of mixing diversity and ethnicity. It's a land of exotic plants and animals, fascinating aquatic life with alluring coral reefs, and Mayan ruins. And there are plenty more mysteries, treasures, and wonders that are waiting for you. Belize is among the world's largest tourist destinations in Central America. And it is one of the region's favorite countries when it comes to traveler and nature lovers. The country reaches way over its size for such a small island. Due to Belize's diversity welcoming custom, it's the melting pot of different languages or dialects, food, and culture. And although it's a small country, it has many exciting and breathtaking destinations and adventures. Where is Belize located? Since it is a very small country, many people wondering where is Belize actually. Belize is in Central America, surrounded by Mexico to the north, Guatemala to the east, and Honduras to the south. From north to south, the country is about 280 kilometers, 170 miles long and about 100 kilometers, 62 miles from east to west. The total land boundary is only 516 kilometers, 321 miles long. So the country covers an area of 22,960 square kilometers, 8,860 square miles. That makes that country about twice the size of Jamaica, and a bit larger than El Salvador in the south. To the east, Belize has a spectacular, mostly marshy, coastline. Facing the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean, the second largest barrier reef in the world is only about half a mile from the coast. The official language of Belize, formerly known as British Honduras, is English, followed by Spanish. Belize borders. The western boundary does not follow any natural lines. Instead, a straight, imaginary line runs from north to south. In this western area of the country, lowland forest and highland mountainous plateau dominate the scenery. This area is the adjacency line between Belize and Guatemala. Since centuries, Guatemala has territorial claims on the former British colony. To the north, the river Hondo is defining the boundary to Mexico and its state Quintana Roo. And to the south, the boundary to Guatemala follows the river Sarstoon. How to get to Belize? There are many non-stop flights from the United States to Belize City. For example, from Miami, Dallas, or Houston you can be in there within 2 hours. But there are also non-stop flights from New York City, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., and Toronto, Canada. But if you prefer to drive, you can reach the country within a 2-day non-stop drive through Mexico from the Texas border. Also from Guatemala City, Belize is only a 1-day drive away. And from the tourist city of Puerto Barrios in Guatemala, you can get a half-hour boat ride to Belize as well. Even from Honduras, Belize is only a 2-hour boat ride away. You can take the boat from Puerto Cortez, Honduras to Punta Gorda in the Toledo district. And of course, there are also countless flights from all surrounding countries. Belize has many natural wonders. That includes dense pine forests, mountains, jungles, rivers, beaches, islands, caves, and coral reefs. Therefore there are many things to discover. Scuba diving, ruins, and the gigantic blue hole adventures, deep sea fishing, and much more make this country an amazing place to visit. Belize, along with its wonder of nature, is enriched with the people living there. Belizeans are loving, hospitable, friendly folks that will make you feel at home and relatively safe. Hence this destination is must-go-to for all the adventure seekers out there. This beauty has more to offer to those who seek it. Things you need to know before you travel to Belize. Belize can be a very expensive place and can stack up incredibly fast expenses here. Throughout this region, diving tours, sailing trips, tours, and seafood dinner can put a hole in your pocket very fast. So if you are traveling to Belize on a budget, you could have a hard time staying on budget. In this case, off-peak travel is much better than peak time travel that ranges between October and May. During that time is high season and of course the most expensive period to travel. But by traveling off-season, you could lessen the accommodation and plane fare price significantly. For travelers on a budget, camping is a great way to save on the expense of accommodation. For about $8 Belize currency, $4 USD, you can set up your tent per night. On the other hand, hotels and resorts can range from about $60 per night to several hundred on a luxurious resort. Public transportation is widely available and safe to use as a tourist. There are several travel agents that sell trips combining common top sightseeing destinations. It's a smart way and save on transportation costs from each tourist spot to the next. Since several trips charge extra for the meal, the tour agents usually drop you off in tourist restaurants with high prices. So if you are on a budget, feel free to carry your own food and save money. Many bars get a late afternoon happy hour, which sells 2 drinks for 1. Besides the large hotels and resorts, you also can find many good Airbnb accommodations all over the country. The advantage is that you not only find a great place to stay, you also will have a local native Belizean host, who can guide you with the best sightseeing tips. Belize cuisine and food culture. Besides the wonders of nature in Belize, such as underwater wonders and ancient Mayan ruins, Belize has an outstanding food scene. Belizean cuisine has a wide range from award-winning seafood dishes through local classics such as beans and rice. Once introduced to the diverse dishes that vary by region, travelers are often surprised. So taste the cult classic tacos throughout the north and the flavorful seafood soups throughout the south. What helps make Belize's culinary scene as such distinction is that the recipes are influenced by the rich culture and are subjective to them. So don't be shy to try something different. You will be amazed by the fresh food and spices. In Belize there is just no incorrect way of eating a meal because there is no incorrect way to cook it. Is it safe to go to Belize? The opinions about whether it's safe to go to Belize vary. The United States government states that travelers should use increased caution. Admittedly, Belize has one of the world's highest per capita murder rates. Yet, travelers are almost never affected, since these are mostly gang activities. Tourists are not targets of gang rivalries, and so the UK government says on their website that most visits are trouble-free. But as everywhere, it's good to be on guard. Petty crime, such as bag snatching, is among Belize's most popular forms of crime. But to prevent any unpleasant experience, don't roam too far from the town's main tourist district. If you plan to explore the country on your own, it's best to use travel agents. They can provide a measure of safety and also can help right away if you encounter any mishap. But what are the things to do in Belize? There are many places to visit in Belize. 1. Ambergris Caye. Since centuries, Ambergris Caye has been the center of the maritime trading areas. Fishing, coconuts, and chicle were the traditional means of income. But during the last 30 years, however, Ambergris and its lovely city San Pedro has seen tremendous growth in diving and snorkeling, as well as ecotourism. Ambergris Caye is the of the more than 200 islands located off the Belize coast. From here, the spectacular barrier reef is here only 1/2 mile from the coast. Little wonder that the Island magazine voted Ambergris Caye in 2009 as the best island to retire on. In San Pedro region, the rich variety of things to do make Ambergris Caye the #1 spot to see in this amazing place. Caulker Caye. Caulker Cave is another wonder of Belize and is a true depiction of the island's vibe. And it is the jewel of the Caribbean Sea, lies on the east coast. Therefore the tiny island is a very popular stop for budget travelers and backpackers. The island is only 5 miles long and very easy going, and surrounded with the beautiful and stunning Caribbean Sea. Laughingbird Caye. Around 11 miles from Placencia coastline, this small national park packs a lot of paradises in, boasting a vast and varied array of wildlife. This long, narrow island is all yours and you can spend the entire day discovering the island without meeting anyone. ATM Cave. The ATM tour is a kind of an Indiana Jones experience. Here visitors have the opportunity to see remarkable stalactites and stalagmites within the cave. But also Mayan pottery that is undisturbed for centuries can be seen here. Travel guides will show ancient historic passages in the cave. And will hear mythical tales of Maya gods and evidence of a Mayan princess that is buried here. Barton Creek Cave. Another of Belize's biggest river caves is Barton Creek Cave. This cave is composed of massive passages encompassed by multiple big speleothems over a traversable river. These cave characteristics have created it a widely known cave trip throughout the Cayo district. Human remains and many Mayan artifacts have been found in this cave, including pottery and jewelry. Experienced guides will explain the history of the cave along the way. Rio Frio Cave. A Rio Frio Cave is among the most popular sites throughout the nature reserve Mountain Pine Ridge. Everything about that cave is enormous. You'll see large stalactites dangling from the huge chapel-like cavern which was sort of a cave system. In this cave he may used to bury their dead in this cave. Lighthouse Reef Atoll and the Blue Hole. The coral reef is one of the most exciting diving and snorkeling destinations in the world. More than 200 species of fish live in this atoll. Little wonder that the Lighthouse Reef is a very well-known diving place throughout the Caribbean. A blue hole in Blue Hole National Park is a natural hole created by a collapsing of an underwater cave rooftop. Throughout time, the water loaded up with depression. Blue hole is increasingly common to dive in Belize lately. Therefore the Blue Hole is one of the top 10 dive sites in the world and is a must-go-to destination for scuba divers around the world. Placencia. Placencia, Belize is a narrow and long peninsula and island across the Belize's Caribbean shoreline. But this peninsula Placencia is a very secure spot for tourists and yet a sightseeing place for visitors. And a place to relax and calm your minds. Turneffe Islands Atoll. Turneffe Islands Atoll is about 30 miles (48 kilometers) east of Belize City and actually a chain of small Caribbean Caye islands. Here the atoll has a vast area of mangrove forests and lush sand island atolls. The waters around the Turneffe Islands are habitat to Belize's largest coral reef atoll. It is the largest and most diverse coral atoll in Belize. Cahal Pech Maya Ruins. Cahal Pech in modern-day Maya means, location of ticks, which leads to the idea that perhaps the entire area was farmland. But it is also believed that it was the royal Acropolis palace of an elite ruling Mayan family that lived here throughout the Classic era. Cahal Pech established about 1000 BC but was deserted in 800 AD. Caracol Maya Ruins. Caracol Maya ruins are located in the district of Cayo, deep within dense forests of the Chiquibul Reserve. Here worth visiting is also the on-site museum that houses the historical relics reciting Caracol's tale from its time. Xunantunich Maya ruins. Xunantunich, meaning stone woman, is yet another example of a title of a temple which is not what the Maya gave it originally. The name, Stone Woman, is an urban myth about the region where people believe that the presence of a woman dressed in white with fire-red eyes emerges at night and ascends the El Castillo stairs. El Pilar Maya. The Maya Flora and Fauna Archaeological Reserve El Pilar is a legitimately proclaimed cultural monument for both Belize and Guatemala. Its reserve is 5,000 acres in size, half in Petén Department in Guatemala and half in Cayo District in Belize. Horseback riding. Ride a horseback on open countryside or green jungle tracks and experience spectacular views. You will also observe amazing Belizean wild animals in its natural environment. Mountain Pine Ridge Reserve. The Mountain Pine Ridge Nature Reserve is the first natural park in Belize. The reserve includes a stunning collection of rolling green hills, mountains, and gullies created from several of Central America's oldest rocks. The reserve consists of 300 square miles of impassable roads and hiking trails. Here the area's top destinations include Rio on Pools, Big Rock Waterfalls, Rio Frio Cave and the 1,000-foot river. Hol Chan Marine Reserve. Hol Chan Marine Reserve and Shark Ray Alley is around 4 miles (6.4 kilometers) south of San Pedro Ambergris Caye. It's San Pedro's single most popular day trip, ideal for snorkeling or diving. The reserve occupies about 3 square miles (7.8 square kilometers) and is divided into 3 areas. The entire reserve focuses on a cut that is just over 25 yards 23 meters long and 30 feet 9 meters deep through the reef. Cockscomb Basin Wildlife Sanctuary and Jaguar Preserve. The special sanctuary in southern Belize occupies an area of approximately 150 square miles. It has a large tropical forest and is the only jaguar reserve in the world. The forest became a preserve in 1984 and eventually a jaguar preserve in 1986. The park is the product of several years of individual, regional, and international efforts. San Ignacio. San Ignacio seems to be the Cayo district's heart and soul, a lively visitor hub from which all roads and events fan away. Along with twin town Santa Elena, on the Macau River's eastern side, this is Cayo's largest population center. The city has plenty of good budget housing, decent restaurants and regular transportation. Altun Archaeological Site. Altun is on Old Northern Highway 31 miles north of the city of Belize. The main road connects to the site by a 2-mile dirt road. The Altun region is filled in stunning wildlife. From here wild armadillos, rabbits, squirrels, agouti, foxes, raccoons, coati, tapir and white-tailed deers can be observed here. Hopkins Village. Hopkins is a village of Garifuna, on Belize's Stan Creek coast. And many Belizeans find Hopkins to be the cultural center of the Belize Garifuna community. The town is divided into 2 parts, the north side Bila as well as the south side Falls Submission. Hopkins is in the island Cockscomb Range, as well as the Caribbean Sea. John's Cathedral. Nestled in the heart of Belize City, St. John's Cathedral is among the few long-time physical histories also as British colony. The church was established in 1812 as the headquarters of the Church of England in Central America. Later the church was used to crown 4 separate native Mosquito tribe kings. In exquisite rituals that matched the dignity and circumstances of European inaugurations. Belize City. Belize City isn't really known for its beaches, but you'd never know that gazing west at the old Belize beach a few miles away from the city. Okay, that's an artificial beach but still pretty and easy to reach. This luxury establishment is simple for tourists to enter on day cruise ships. Few tourists stay in Belize City. But still there are many beautiful sightseeing places to explore. www.1000-destinations.com